Hey guys, it's Lauren Lajas, the author of the Lost Cause Chronicles, Confessions of the Problem Child, aka me. I'm here because I wanted to share another excerpt of my book. So how I wrote this book in particular was I divided it into 4 parts. So the first part was about my biological mother. The second part was about my adoptive mother. The third part was about the woman that I consider to be my mother. Have I lost you? Read my book, it all makes sense. But the fourth part was about myself, which was definitely the hardest part to write just because I had to be very vulnerable. I was honest with myself, and I wrote a lot of things that I've never said out loud. So I'm going to share a little bit about what I wrote in that segment. So I just need to say this. I can't blame every single problem I have ever had in my life on my mother's. I am my own person. I fly, I soar, I crash all by myself. However, there was a slight theme in my maternal figures that I couldn't deny. Now, one can say that the only common denominator in all 3 situations is me, and therefore I must have been the issue. But I stand by what I said. Children are blameless. I look back on my childhood, and a pattern was there. A pattern of abuse, abandonment, and neglect. I countered that with a pattern of my own. A pattern of strong will, defiance, and anger. And boy, was I angry. As I was writing the last few chapters of my book, I really started to wonder, where did all my anger come from? Maybe she's born with it, or maybe it's mommy issues. I made the unfortunate mistake of Googling signs that a woman had mommy issues, and it was like looking in the mirror. Trust and intimacy issues, demanding, controlling, fear of abandonment, trouble forming an attachment, sigh, not with this again, trouble expressing themselves emotionally, so on and so forth. Okay, fine, guilty, geez. Hey, in my defense, I could have been worse. I could have been a man with mommy issues. That list looked profoundly different and was riddled with some of the most prolific serial killers of all time, but I digress. I took a step away from my book for a while because I couldn't really find the words to explain the key ingredient in the part I played in my own childhood dysfunction. One night, I was having trouble sleeping, so I did what every other human being does when they can't sleep. Shamelessly scroll Amazon and add things they don't need to their shopping cart. In my list of suggested items was a book called Why Are You Full of Rage? Because You Are Full of Grief, Anne Carson. I looked up at the ceiling, aka God, and smirked. Touche, universe, touche. In the same week, while taking the bus to work, I was looking to kill some time off the commute by looking at Instagram, and I came across this quote. I sat with my anger long enough until she told me her real name was grief. C.S. Lewis. If I hadn't received the message the first time, it was now crystal clear. I was so angry because I was grief-stricken. I came into this world already at a loss, absent a mother and a father, a family, love, a sense of security, and it only got worse from there. I won't lie, being rehomed as many times as I was really did a number on me. That is one thing my adoptive mother never understood. I have never met someone else who grew up in foster care and had the same scenario happen to them because I would like to know how they feel about it and how they managed to cope. Some wounds are deeper than others, and that is one of my deepest. I have had the hope of a loving family dangled in front of me just to have it ripped away in the cruelest of ways so many times that I finally just lost hope altogether. And I will admit, my last family felt that. Like I have said before, I was made to be the villain since birth, when in actuality, I was a victim, but was never treated as such. I often wonder how different things could have been for me had I been treated with softness and kindness, patience and understanding. I guess that concept is now called gentle parenting. And who knows if that would have worked on a child like me. One thing I do know is that I didn't ask for any of it. I didn't ask for a birth mother who was incapable of keeping me and giving me the life I deserved. I didn't ask for adoptive parents who weren't equipped with the tools and or the knowledge to care for a child like me, and didn't care enough to educate themselves or ask for help because that was always an option instead of rehoming me over and over again. I didn't ask to be sexually abused. I didn't ask to be beaten repeatedly because make no mistake, I wasn't disciplined or reprimanded in the name of the Lord. I was left bruised and bloodied on multiple occasions. I had every right to be angry. I had every reason to lash out. I have every reason to be exactly the way that I am, for good or bad. Grief, mystery solved. I was in a constant state of grieving. No, I am in a constant state of grieving. I'm going to drop a truth bomb. Trauma never leaves you. You just manage it and hopefully learn healthy coping mechanisms. They say there are 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Wow, my life is making even more sense as I write this. And I'm gonna stop there because after that, I obviously go through every stage of grief and how that has impacted my life from childhood up until now. Yeah, so that is just the beginning part of my part, which is part 4. So yeah, all the links will be in the comments. If you didn't watch my first video, which was my introductory chapter about what my book is actually about, I will put that in the comments as well. Stay tuned because I will be sharing my last chapter because I'm not a tease over here.